Hi from the
English Sisters, and welcome to Get Real
with the English Sisters. Hello everyone.
Hello.
The path to cheerfulness.
Yes, what is that path?
How to
get
there.
How to get on that path.
How to get on that path. That's a good one.
Mm.
If you're not already on it.
Yeah. Sometimes you're on it and then you fall off it and you have to get back on it. Or you go down a different route.
You don't feel that cheery.
Well, yeah, you go down a different path. It's not a path to cheerfulness. Depends,
Well, it could be. It reminds me of the yellow brick road.
It does to me as well, yeah. Yep.
But that was a bit different though, wasn't it? Because they got to the end. The path to cheerfulness was always within them, kind of.
Exactly,
thing.
yeah.
So maybe it's
and
just
the great big
us.
Wizard of Oz
was nobody.
Was just
fake.
Yeah, something that they just had inside them. They already had everything they needed.
Yeah.
The courage.
So maybe that's the path to cheerfulness.
Is
Not
to
be so
that.
hard on yourself and think you've already got everything you need.
Yes. That is a good path.
That's one way.
That's one way, yeah.
They do talk about that Pollyanna syndrome a lot, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, the Pollyanna syndrome. What is it? Being too overly optimistic about things, yeah. But yeah, I think that the reason why it's called a syndrome in psychotherapy, obviously, is because it can be, if you're too overly optimistic, it can be damaging.
It can be dangerous.
It can be dangerous to yourself, imagine being too over optimistic about your health, for example.
Yeah.
You just ignore, oh no, I don't have high blood pressure, I don't have this, I'm always, fit as a fiddle. Which is a great thing to think.
It's a great belief to have.
Great belief.
Checkups.
But yeah, if you do have, you are overly optimistic, I think obviously that can be dangerous. Health, business, everything. Overly optimistic is not a good thing.
Measure, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously.
To look at the ups and the downs.
Yes, to see the negative.
And the
yeah, because that's what life is all about, isn't it?
The yin and the yang.
Absolutely, yeah, the yin and the yang, and life isn't just about, cheerfulness all the time.
No, but I think our minds do tend to focus more on the negative than the positive, just naturally, because that's how we're hardwired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're hardwired to think if there's going to be a tiger jumping out to kill us from the jungle. We have to take caution. So that's why people, I think, they focus more on negative. So say you've had a really great day.
Yeah.
And then one bad thing happens. You tend to say, I had a terrible day today. But when you actually break it down throughout the whole day, how terrible has it actually been? Maybe there's been lots of moments in that day that were quite good or very good. And then the one thing happened,
very good,
and you focus on that one negative thing. That might have been really negative, but in the end, how much positive stuff has happened throughout
I think we used to do that more in the past, didn't we?
Well, definitely.
Yeah. Now I think I've learned how to put. I think I've learned, but then we'll have to see. But I tend to manage to put it to one side. Hopefully I can do this more and more, but without being too Pollyanna about it. Being able to say, okay, so there's this. And I can seem to put it to one side of my mind, chunk it down, like what you've just said, and keep it there, and then
small bite sizes.
Yeah, I think I have managed to do that rather well now. Obviously, with age and wisdom, experience, that's come, but that wasn't it. It didn't always used to be like that.
No,
not
it wasn't like that at all.
Well, I mean. It wasn't too bad.
No, we've always been cheery.
Yeah, we've had a cheery disposition.
But we also had a very cheery upbringing.
Yes.
Because if you want, you could say that our mum was a bit like a Pollyanna.
I could definitely say she definitely had a bit of the Pollyanna thing going on. I mean, not a bit, a lot. A lot of it, to the point that sometimes it was a bit...
Get on our nerves, wouldn't it?
No. Well, yeah, she would. Yeah, sometimes it would kind of get on, especially throughout the teenage years.
Yeah,
it was always so rosy.
Nothing's bothering you, kind of thing.
Yeah, nothing's bothering you. But also, like when I decided to go off hitchhiking, and that was dangerous.
That was dangerous.
I mean, that was whoa. That was dangerous at 17.
But she thought it was all great, didn't she?
She thought it was wonderful.
I mean, you did have to convince her.
I convinced her, but not that much. No. To have to convince an adult.
Yeah, but you were going with an older cousin. She was 25, but still very young.
She was young. She was still kind of naive as well. I mean, I was definitely super naive, super innocent, tiny. I mean, goodness me.
Exactly.
So even though you appear to be grown up at 17, 18, you think you're like, oh yeah, but really there is, you still need protection, don't you?
Absolutely.
So I mean, I think she
was like fantasizing it too much, romanticizing the whole trip, saying,
oh yeah. Well, she did say she wanted to come along. I mean, poor thing. We said, no way, Mum. If you come along, we won't get a lift.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think in general she was very overly optimistic. Everything was fine. Everything was okay.
I think she probably was sick about you afterwards. Because she said she couldn't sleep at night.
Really, poor thing. I'm not surprised.
But I think she'd get carried away in the moment, and she wanted to see you happy, I suppose.
Yeah. She probably thought, since we were immigrant queers, she probably thought I haven't got the money to send them to Italy because I wanted to come to Italy hitchhiking, which is where I found my now husband, by the way. I mean, this choice, this decision changed my entire life, my sister's life, even my parents' life in the end, because they came over. So, I mean, talk about decisions. It changed everything, every single thing. So, in a way, I mean, it was good. It was good.
It turned out well.
It turned out well, but it turned out really well. But the fact that she let me, she just said, sure.
Well, she didn't let you. You said, I'm 18, I can do what I want, kind of thing. Yeah, you were very stubborn.
I just turned 18. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Dad said he wasn't going to let me go.
And it was in those days as well, when I think an 18-year-old was considered, especially in the UK, it was considered more of an adult.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though they weren't. And they were Spanish.
I think
she was comforted with the fact that you had the older cousin.
Definitely, yeah.
And you weren't going alone.
Yeah.
But she was more responsible than you in the end.
She was terrible.
You had to put your...
in the end, I found I was
you were
wise.
More sensible.
Yeah. That was quite a dangerous trip, actually.
It was very dangerous.
But I mean, hey, I met my hubby.
To take a deep breath, I mean, to assimilate that one.
Going down that path now. I mean, yeah, but so how do you get back onto the path of cheerfulness if you feel that you're not on it?
She kind of wanted to always, I'm just thinking
you're
about
going back there,
yeah, because she kind of always wanted to, she did like not want to think about bad things.
Yeah, that's why
she kind of did stifle her emotions, I think, a little bit on that
just
side.
Covered it up
Covered
always,
them up,
yeah. Maybe mums do that a bit with their kids.
Yeah, probably.
You know.
Yeah, I don't think she kind of let on how hard it was for her.
No, I don't think she did at all. No. Because if she'd said to me, look, honey, I'd be devastated if you got, I'm going to be terrified every night. I won't be able to sleep. Please don't, but please consider this. I know you're 18, but this is going to be, I don't know, maybe I would have said, Mom, don't worry, I'll be fine, and still go off.
You probably would have.
Yeah.
You're quite headstrong.
Yeah.
Because I remember telling you don't go, it's too dangerous.
There's a time when I just had this urge to fly, and it was just so strong that I don't think anything could have, you're right, probably. Nothing could have stopped me, probably. No. It's like a destiny or whatever.
Yeah.
You just know when certain things...
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just mad. I used to think that everyone got it.
I think a lot of people do.
The urge to suddenly change and to fly off.
Especially if you're really bored. Like you
Yeah, I was so bored in our hometown.
I'd gone off to university.
So boring. Yeah, it's probably because you'd gone off.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not all about me here.
No, but I think, I don't know. I think it's good to focus on the positive, but I think it's also good to acknowledge that you don't always feel great. But then you can also help yourself, like what we do when we don't feel great. And you maybe do something nice, do something that's going to be helpful to you, phone a friend, go and do something.
Something that's going to make you feel good.
Yeah, even have a nice cup of coffee or something, or a nice drink that you like, something you enjoy.
Something you enjoy, something for yourself. To get back onto the path. There's that famous quote. I'll see if I can find it.
Isn't it on here?
Yeah. Here it is. Yeah. The path to cheerfulness is to sit cheerfully and to act and speak as if cheerfulness were already here, by William James.
Well, that's a bit like what you do in hypnosis and NLP, isn't it? You kind of visualize it and put it into the
you
present
kind of
moment.
like pretend as if you're already cheerful.
Pretend as if.
Yeah, that's what those the Buddha monks do, isn't it? They say they practice smiling, even if they feel sad. Like every morning, they smile for like 20-30 minutes because they say it kind of makes it, their body's doing the smile, so the smile goes inside too. It reflects inside. We know this to be true.
It's if your physiology.
Yes.
Changes.
So you act as though you're cheerful. You start humming.
Like the power pose, isn't it? If you do the power pose, that's been proven to give you more confidence and power.
And this is proven as well, because if you are not feeling cheerful and you do that and you really keep the smile up, and maybe you hum a little, a nice little song that you like or something, and you go around, you'll start noticing that your smile will make your body change as well, and you'll start walking more cheerfully, you'll begin to act more cheerfully, and in the end, by pretending, you've tricked your mind into thinking that you are cheerful, and you end up really feeling cheerful.
And thinking about
it's like a hack,
things,
isn't it?
Yeah, thinking about cheerful things, I think, too.
Well, you can't really. The thing is that if you're, especially like if you're smiling and looking up, it's so difficult to access unhappy thoughts and unhappy memories. It's so difficult. We know that, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we know. I mean, I did that at Mum's funeral.
Yeah.
I remember I was feeling so overwhelmed with sadness. It was such a horrible thing. And I thought, God, I'm never going to be able to stop crying. And then in the end, I put a smile on. I mean, it's terrible, really. But I smiled and I remembered this little hack. And I looked up and honestly, it just all stopped. I couldn't access the sad feelings anymore.
Yeah.
In the end, I almost felt like laughing,
that wasn't good.
No, it wasn't really good because
nervous laughter can come. I think that's the purpose of it, is to release all your adrenaline and
your emotions.
Yeah, it's a helpful thing.
You can try this honestly. If you look up, your eyes cannot access. Because if you've ever thought about it, when you're depressed and you're feeling sad, most of the time you're gazing downwards. And I know a lot of us now, we're looking at our phones all the time downwards. That's why we have to look up sometimes. And if you just look up, you really can't. What are you laughing at?
You have to look up sometimes, you're right.
Well, sometimes, yeah, because if you're working or whatever, or if you're on your phone, but look at you mean more than sometimes.
I think a lot.
A lot, yeah. Yeah, there was that... Is that therapy we did on somebody who was feeling sad? We told them to look at the rooftops on their way to work.
I think that's famous, isn't it? So
that's a famous, look at the rooftops, and he referred back to us that he'd felt so much better.
I think that's why they say heaven is up, don't they? They don't say heaven is down. Hell is down.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I never thought of that. Like the metaphor, heaven and hell.
Heaven could be in the earth.
Yeah, heaven could be where everything comes from.
Everything comes from the earth.
All the roots, everything is from the earth.
But why is heaven up in the sky?
I wonder why. Maybe you've hit that again. Maybe you've really pinpoint it. Maybe because when we look up, celestial, we'll feel better when we look up than when we look down. So naturally,
actually,
the story came, or if you believe, the heavens are up. So you look up. And even the expressions say, look up at life, don't they? Look up. No, that's not.
I don't think they say that. Look up, not down.
No. No, I can't remember it now, but it was something about looking up. It was a little expression, but I can't.
Isn't it that film that's come out now?
No, that's no. It's not the film. That's something else, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, definitely.
I'm sure it had something to do with look up.
I do think that if you look up, though, we know that's the truth anyway.
That's the truth.
Well, if you smile and you look up, it's very difficult to access sad memories,
but I think
negative.
People would say, to play devil's advocate, people would say, because I don't believe this, but people would say, oh, you're just covering up your emotions because you're really sad.
Yes, you are really sad at first. You can be sad at first. But then if you want to go onto the path, if you want to be sad, then you can stay in that emotional feeling if that's your choice. But
sometimes it's helpful to stay sad as well.
Definitely.
Because it helps you process something.
Of course, if you're processing whatever you're processing, you want to be able to process it. But there are times when you think, I've processed it and I want to get out of it now. The case is, do you want to get back onto that path? Because you feel miserable and you feel down, and then... Not because you need to. If you need to process, you know when you need to process.
Well, I don't think people do. People block their emotions. People don't. Some people
don't
are
process.
too good
You're
at
right.
this. I think that's where this Pollyanna syndrome is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because some people don't, and so they do have like a death in the family of a loved one,
and they don't
take
process
the time
it to grieve.
They don't cry. They don't grieve it.
No.
And then it comes up as something else in the future. They have other problems.
Yes, obviously, no. Grieving is essential. It's essential for growing and changing. You will never be the same person, but you'll be a different version of yourself, and you've gained that experience. There is a purpose for that suffering. In the end, it kind of makes you wiser. I know it's a natural process as well, but you know. Yeah, I mean, the case when I did it at Mum's funeral, that was different. That's already because I'd grieved before. I was going to grieve a lot afterwards. That was just for that particular moment. I used that little hack. But what are you saying?
I think we didn't grieve that much afterwards because she told us to go on holiday.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's how much Pollyanna she was.
Gosh, she was so Pollyanna, you're right.
She hypnotised us to go on an expensive holiday.
Ever since we were little, she said, when I die, I want you to have a party at my funeral and go on a holiday, because she loved holidays. Yeah. Go somewhere lovely, enjoy yourselves,
the time of
and
lives.
Celebrate my life and enjoy yourselves, and that's what we did. That's exactly what we did. We went to Barbados. It was wonderful.
It was great.
We took everybody and we celebrated her that way. Yes, yeah. But that was kind of grieving, because that was like what.
Well, it was a nice thing to do, wasn't it? Because we thought about her as well.
Yes, it was. It was a lovely thing, yes. That was a laugh. Yeah, we did. Obviously, we thought about her, yeah.
But I mean, we'd had time to grieve as well, because she'd been very ill a long time. So we knew it was coming and everything. And it was the best thing for her, because she was like...
Well, when you're elderly and not well.
Yeah. So we were kind of happy in a way, because we thought, it'll end her suffering.
Yes, absolutely.
But also because she hypnotised us.
She did.
I mean, she wasn't a hypnotist like we are, but in her own way she
conditioned us for sure. Yeah.
Because she always used to say that she loved it the way in England, when she came to England, how they would have parties at the funerals.
Oh, she would think that was really odd.
Drinks and cakes and things. And she said that, in Spain they didn't do that.
No, they don't.
The same way they used to cry. And
they don't do that here either in Italy.
No, there they have like a
they just
party.
cry pie and you go to church and then that's it.
Yeah, but there they all have a booze up. Not all of them, but they have a
it's
nice
common.
And they talk about the person that's died.
You spend time together.
To talk about it with the friends and the family, and you spend time, and they usually have a lot of fun as well. I remember at the funerals I've been to, people do have fun.
Well, the word fun is in funeral, isn't it? Well, otherwise, why would it be a fun funeral for funeral? I mean, it's weird, isn't it?
In Italian, it isn't.
Funerale, no. It sounds somber.
Yes. Because it's not fun, is not the same word in Italian.
No, it's not.
Divertimento.
There's nothing in there. No. But anyway, I mean,
that's a
yes.
bit of a rant.
That is
anyway, the point is that I think it has to be measured, doesn't it? Like with everything in life.
Yes, yeah. Overly
Too much
optimistic
can damage your own health, your mental health and your physical health.
Yeah. You have to process your emotions. So if you're feeling rotten, there's probably a good reason for it.
But I think that's why when you're feeling rotten as well, you want to kind of get together with your friends and have a laugh about it as well and talk about things.
Yeah,
Then you usually end up laughing. I mean,
you say, oh, this happened to me. Yeah, that's happened to me before as well.
I mean, I think humour is a very useful part of being able to process our emotions through humour.
Definitely, yeah. We certainly do that. Yeah,
I know,
through laughter.
But,
you mean?
But I think even nervous laughter. I think that's why children, they laugh when they're in a bad, tricky situation as well. It's to help their body cope with the emotion that comes up as laughter a lot of the time.
Like when the teachers at school say, "Don't giggle,
stop giggling, stop laughing." You know, don't be disrespectful. A lot of the time at trials as well, you see the people laughing.
Gosh, yeah, I've seen
when
that,
they try and they might be condemned to something really terrible, but the nerves come out as laughter, and maybe that, and the jury can misinterpret it as
definitely,
but we know with body language what can happen, that it can just be a nervous symptom because your body's just trying to release all the negative
the stress,
hormones and chemicals,
the stress
going on in it.
Absolutely.
So to end on a positive note.
I think it is always, usually most of the time it's helpful to be cheery and to be cheerful if you can,
and I think
to be optimistic.
A part of that can become from gratitude as well. That's one of the pathways.
In the end, how can you not be cheery if you're always in a state, almost always thinking, wow, isn't it lovely? I've turned my water on, it's come out. They've got fresh water.
Of gratitude.
Yeah.
There's always something to be grateful for.
There is
always something,
even
though it can seem
as if there isn't.
But if you look for it, you'll find it.
Well,
I think
he who looks,
he who seeks shall find.
She shall find, or what is it? He who looks, isn't that an old saying?
He who seeks shall find.
Yes, that's it.
Let us know how you feel about being cheery. Have you been cheery lately? Sometimes we find it's difficult to stay cheery with everything that's going on in the world, but we certainly do try and practice it because it always helps us in the end.
It helps us. It really helps me to feel to be cheery and
to be cheerful
and to start my morning off by smiling,
having a bit of a laugh and a smile.
Even if I don't laugh, I mean. We do have our massive laughs when we're together, but even if I'm just like alone, I don't necessarily laugh unless I'm listening to something funny. Yeah, but just to feel like I have a little smile on my face, I think it really helps.
A giggle from within.
Yeah, a giggle.
An inner smile.
An inner smile, yeah. Definitely.
Thank you for listening. Please follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and take time to give us a review, please, as well, because it really helps us grow.
It does help us. And comment on YouTube if you can. Let us know how you get back on the cheerful path, or if you think it's good to be on the cheerful path or you don't, whatever. Let us know your thoughts.
Let us know your thoughts. Bye from the
English Sisters.
Bye-bye.
Love and smiles. Bye.
Bye.